Hello and welcome. You're watching Head to Head. I'm Carrie Oderman with UATV. Today marks the Day of Remembrance of the Defenders of Ukraine. This occasion honors those who died while fighting for the country's sovereignty and territorial integrity. At the end of August 2014, hundreds of Ukrainian soldiers were killed or injured withdrawing from the town of Ilovaisk in the Donetsk region. They had been guaranteed a corridor of safety. Instead, they were shelled intensely and attacked with small arms fire. To recall these tragic events, we're joined in the studio today by Vsevolod Stebliuk. He's a military medic who was an eyewitness of the events there. Hello, and thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon.
I wish you didn't have such a sad story to tell. But as an eyewitness, I think it's important that you talk about that day with us.
It's easy and very difficult question at the same time. Easy because it's a day of my second birthday, like as for hundreds of my co-brother on weapon who go by Ilovaisk safety corridor and back from the war live. Very difficult because it's a memory day, and today we remember our friends who were killed, who died after the wounds, and it's a very important day in modern history of Ukraine. It's a day of tragedy and heroism, day of glory of Ukrainian soldiers.
I know it's a difficult topic, but some of our international viewers may not be aware of the history of this day. Could you set up the events leading up to this day?
On the August 2014, I've been a volunteer in volunteer battalion peacemaker, Mirotvorets, and we start our mission on the Donbass from Slavyansk, after them Popasna, Ilovaisk, other small cities and villages, and Ilovaisk was a last point of our direction. We came to Ilovaisk on the Independence Day, 24th of August, and stay 5 days in the Ilovaisk train depot, like our citadel, like our castle, and we stay on front line near 400 meters between terrorist groups and us. And 5 days we stay in fight and defend this small citadel, and it's very, very difficult time was because 24 hours we have been under the shooting, under the bombs by artillery, mortars, machine guns and others. We have not meals, we have not clean water, and practically without any medical support. We have, from the 5 days, we have 10, 11 wounded soldiers, and our powers, our initiatives were finished on the 28th of August, and we, with a great pleasure, listen about safety corridors. We have information that Russian military commanders promised safety corridors for all Ukrainian soldiers. And 5 years ago, this day at morning, near the 7 o'clock at morning, we go out the Ilovaisk and go like as a last way for many our friends, like as a Via Dolorosa for Jesus Christ. Russian commanders promised peaceful march, safety corridor, but only with same conditions. The first condition was armed forces, regular armed forces, go out free, and volunteer battalions must stay, and possible kills by Russians. Our commander, General Khomchak, said that it's not possible. We are one team, we are one army, and we must go together. Next condition was we must put all weapons, we must put techniques and up hands and go by these corridors. It also was impossible for our glories, for our honors, and General Khomchak said, we will go in battle. And we start this way. Russian army shooting like is a sport shooting because they stay on the hills. We go front under their positions, and every missiles, every artillery shooting keep this for our soldiers.
They said that 366 men lost their lives. Yeah. Nearly 500 were injured and 300 were taken prisoner. Was that your experience?
Yes, I've been also prisoner in Russian, by Russian regular paratroopers battalion. After our ambulance jeep was explosion, and I go to the meeting with a Russian officer, Russian major, and discuss possibility of save wounded Ukrainian soldiers. We agreed some position, and I take possibility of save our soldiers. Russian part take possibility take clean water. I bring clean water from the village and bring to Russian soldiers. That was our agreement. And during 2 days, 29th and 30th of August, I collect all wounded soldiers in this region. It was a very difficult situation without any medicine. My medicine bag, military first aid kits and military medical bags was empty during a short time period. After them, I used my clothing for bandages and others. But most important was collect all wounded soldiers and prepare to evacuation. Next day, Ukrainian military medical evacuation commander come to our disposition and evacuate all wounded soldiers from this small region.
It's a very powerful story that you're telling, one of the most difficult stories I've had to listen to in an interview. A situation like this brings people together. Do you still meet on a regular basis with the soldiers from that time? Is there a sense of unity?
Yes, it's really... we changed information, we met, and today also many of our friends come to the Mikhailovsky Square under the Mikhailovsky Cathedral for Memorial Day. We connect, permanent connection with our family of our died friends. We help them, but biggest problem for our mind, personally for my mind, it's that we have, for this moment, we have not finished point in the legal evaluation of this case.
Was it clear to you, speaking about the legalities, who you were fighting at that time in 2014? I mean, you yourself said you negotiated with a Russian.
It's a very difficult question, because what is the official version of this case? Main power was Russian who not keep the promise, but we have mistakes in our high military commanders. We have different mistakes and of planning of all military operation in the Ilovaisk region. And I hope in this short time, today we 4 years we write different petitions for president, for parliament about that this day must be national date, national memorial date, and this year it's realized, and I hope next step was a legal solution of this situation of problem, and we take real as for participators of this massacres. We know, but we want real official information from the high levels of our power about this situation and about results of the investigation, legal investigation of Ilovaisk tragedy.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your story with us. It's truly one of the saddest interviews I've had to do, but sharing these stories are very important, so the memory remains.
Thank you for interesting, and thank you for your position. It's very important for our Ukrainian veterans and all society.
Thank you. That was Vsevolod Stebliuk, military medic. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the rest.